Final round time. If 2's company and 3's a crowd, what's 207?
A bar mitzvah?
Correct. Opportunity never knocks twice. Why not?
It's got sore knuckles?
Correct.
Yes.
How fast does Netflix let you watch TV episodes and movies?
Instantly on your Nintendo 3DS or on your TV through your Wii console.
Correct! Watch unlimited TV episodes and movies for only $8 a month from Netflix. See terms of use.
Yeah.
Sir, put your shirt back on.
But I'm excited.
You're scaring the children.
To another edition of Stock Traders Talk Radio. I am your host, Mike, here on this beautiful Thursday night, December the 29th, 2011. And boy, are we excited. Whole new format coming up, whole new type of show, and I think it's going to be a very, very interesting process over these next week or two for us to fine-tune all the details. Joining me on tonight's program, and once again, I have a full lineup. But first, I want to introduce him first, because he's one of my favorite talk show hosts, or co-hosts, I should say. I love saying his name because I say it wrong. He spends all his day on an island, maybe going surfing, maybe doing this, maybe doing another thing. Mr. Sifakia!
Aloha, gang. I'm honored, STT, that you put me up on Spotlight first like that. Thanks a lot.
I had to get to you first.
Just knock me out right out the gate, why don't you? That's cool. I'm good.
Missed you last night. You were a little busy. Had some things to do.
Trying to make $1.
Yep. All right, next on the show, I introduced him last night as not 4, not 6, but today I'm going to call him half a dime. It's Nickel, I think. Let me do that over.
Yeah, it's hard to run that one, Mike.
He's not 4, he's not 6, he's not going to use him as half a dime. Nickel.
How are you? I appreciate you, Mike, for having me on again tonight.
Fantastic to have you. Somebody's got feedback. Is that you? I think that's you with the feedback tonight, huh? We got to fine tune all this stuff. So.
Nickel's on location. You want to talk about dedication? He's on a holiday trip and actually piped in.
Oh wow! Well, at least it's not as bad as that. I think it was Ramo interview, ticker RAMO. There was a dog barking in the background and a boyfriend-girlfriend fight. You guys listen to that?
No, we got to catch up on that one.
Oh, I think every other minute, whoever we were doing the interview with was like yelling in the background, telling people to shut up.
Oh man, that's good stuff right there.
That stock.
I'm gonna find that one.
We should be pretty good tonight. You may get a couple gunfires.
All right. Also joining us on tonight's program, Mr. Haas.
Thanks for having me again, Mike.
Hey, not a problem. Oh, we're glad to have you on the show. I mean, it used to be just me and Cop, then it was me, Cop, and Siffy, and then it was me, and then it was Cop, and then it was Siffy by himself, and it was just crazy.
Most people can't put up with me for more than a couple days.
Oh, no, it's all good here. Trust me.
All right.
It's usually the other way around for me. Also on tonight's program, Mr. Cop.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How are you, Mike?
I am fantastic. I do have to tell you this much, though. I came home today, and noticed a little water outside the house, and it hasn't rained. So I was investigating a little bit, just a real quick story, just a real quick. I have a water filtration system, and it leads into the house on PVC pipe. I think I have a little crack in my PVC pipe, which I will tend to this weekend, hopefully. Anyway, that's my life and my water. Okay, so I believe I covered everybody. Yes, I have the full crew on. Murray is listening but cannot join us tonight. He's a little busy. But he will be here, not Monday, Tuesday night when we re-air our show. Now, we did promise last night a CEO interview tonight, but unfortunately, we were unable to provide that. Mr. Kopp, why is that?
Basically, we got a phone call probably about a half hour before. The company, AGDY, lawyers have recommended, based off the fact that they're doing a filing, they wouldn't go into detail of what it was, but I assume it's acquisition, some form of an 8K. That's just me guessing. But until that is complete, they've recommended that the CEO not come on and divulge stuff from that has not been filed. So, of course, what I assume is going to happen from that standpoint, and they said as soon as it is, they'll be on. And I basically explained to them that our next night's Monday night, and they're hoping to have it done by that point. So we'll play that by ear because I know a lot of people are interested in that, and new company, that'd be great. Yeah.
Big favor. After the show, politely email them back and tell them that our next show is not Monday night; it will be Tuesday night.
Tuesday, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I will.
Not Monday.
Good point.
Thank you. I try my best. Now, I feel that it's necessary maybe for us to, and all of us can kind of join in on this one, is to maybe go over our new format with the listeners, tell them how we're going to go about doing this and what we're looking for, and how they can participate in the show also. Does everybody think that's a good idea? I know I'm kind of throwing this one at you on the blind side, but I think that maybe we should give a little basis of what's going on. What do you think?
Sure.
Anybody?
Yep, sounds great.
Okay, who wants to start?
Why don't you start, Mike?
Okay, why don't I start? Beautiful. What else is new?
The host, you're supposed to get things going.
I know. Well, I tried to get it going and passed the ball, but the ball came back to me. All right. So basically what we've done is we've tried to, and we've been doing this for a couple of years now, we've never really had what I would call a true format to the show. Right, Cop? Siffy? Is that correct? Siffy? Cop?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So basically what we decided to do was to put a little format, a little organization going on, so that every night we have not only topics to talk about, but quality topics that we feel are important to the traders that listen to our show. So, from now on, the show will be comprised of our introductions, which is me screaming and yelling, introducing the people on the show. Then, it's going to be one of two things first. Either we'll have a CEO interview, or we're going to do what we call the Stock Spotlight section, or segment. Okay? One of those two things will happen first. CEO interview, or our Stock Spotlight. Now, everybody's familiar with our CEO interviews. They usually last anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Some go longer, but for the most part, anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. So that's our CEO interview side of it. But when we don't have a CEO interview, what we're going to do is we're going to take one ticker and DD it to death right here on the show. Now, what that ticker is will basically be comprised of anyone that we think of throughout the day that we want to do, or if you want, we started a new Investors Hub board called Stock Traders Talk Radio. Pretty genius there, huh? So you can go on that board and post a ticker that you would like us to put in the Spotlight segment, and we will do our best to DD it. Now, I will say this, and I think everybody on the show can agree with me. I don't think we'll be doing, tickers that have been dead for 3 years and things of that nature. Correct?
Correct.
We're not going to take just any ticket, I don't think. I think we want something that's a little active, got some potential. So, basically, that's the Stock Spotlight segment. Then we're going to move on to what we call Stocks in Focus, meaning stocks that are currently trading above normal, I guess we would say. Was that a correct statement?
That would be good.
That are hot, that are out there, people, out there calling them out, and we'll just breeze right on through those that we see for today. Then we're going to move on to the final segment of the show, which is hopefully about 45 minutes into the show. And we call this little segment Cop's Corner. The reason I call it Cop's Corner is because I don't know. I figure I'd give him some kind of props. So, Cop's Corner will comprise of basically Cop. What is it going to comprise of? Let us know.
Pretty much anything. In most cases, I kind of want to do things from a world market standpoint and drill it down to over time to where it's something that's building on each other over the course of weeks and all that. One common thing that it is a lot of people don't understand federal budget, they work, impacts, all that type of stuff. And the beauty to that is what I'd like to do with that when we have opportunities, we potentially could have 2 interviews in the same night, meaning CEOs in the beginning, and then later on in the at the end of the show, a financial expert or somebody that's a fund manager or something of that form, to where insight, lessons learned, and knowledge-based stuff, DD type tools and that type of stuff.
Okay, sounds good to me. Oh, also, I kind of skipped a step in the stock spotlight section. When we're done DDing, each person on the radio show will cast a vote for that stock, whether they think it's a buy, sell, or hold. Correct? Is that the way we want to play it? Buy, sell, or hold?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to keep track of how each host is doing. Meaning, we're only going to keep track for the following day. I think that's the best way to do it. Yes?
It is.
Okay. I think that's probably the easiest and best way to do it, because God knows I don't want to look at a stock for 6 months and see how it's doing 6 months later, and somebody stand up and say, hey, I got it right. So anyway, all right, so that's how it's going to go. Now, tonight's Stock Spotlight stock is Guard Dog. Ticker GRDO.
Oh my, I've never heard of that one.
You never
heard of that one either. That's what you're going to start with, really?
Well, I mean, it was a late decision that I made. I posted it to everybody. Nobody said yay or nay, so I went yay.
Oh,
here we are.
Okay, all right. I guess the best way to do this, I would assume, as time goes on, we have a couple chart experts, a couple TA experts, a couple of fundamental analysis experts, and then we got the buzz meter, right? So, how do you want me to start that?
I want you to start the way you always start.
All right, Guard Dog. Let's go with that. All right, GRDO. That's the ticker. Basically, it was an identity theft company that was over the last 3 years ran by a CEO named James Watson. Ended up hiring Kendra Todd, who is the winner of The Apprentice, as the big piece as far as the spokesperson. The first year of The Apprentice. Over time, the stock ran 2.0159, held the 1 cent area for approximately 7 months, with a float of somewhere around 800 million shares, and then was increased AAS as well as increased the OS to 1.2 billion shares, where it slowly started to slide down, and eventually they diluted a living hell out of it to 1.5 billion shares, to where bag holders all over the place. On the way out the door, basically James Watson basically found either a private company found him, or he found a private company to come in and they take over the show. And that company is 15SOF, which is 15 seconds of fame. Huge mess when it came to the stock structure, in the sense of, they still had pieces of that. And, like with anything else, I don't know the details with who the main investors were with 15 SOF when it was a private company, but clearly they had their big wig investors. And then to get the stock to be, to have them to still have their value, they basically had to increase the authorized share structure to 6 billion, somewhere around there. And the OS is somewhere around 1.8 billion. But a ton of shares that are restricted for a long period of time. But that you got to refer to the filings. Beyond that, very quiet company. They've been doing a lot of things when it comes to the site, as far as the Alexa ranking and the traffic and analytics and all that stuff. Been screaming up. Even so, the 2 weeks ago they actually had an ad on MTV where it was running, when you win a contest throughout the given week, basically this is how you won, and you had a commercial on MTV. So clearly there's a whole bunch of stuff going down there, and the big triggers to it, as far as the things that highlight to me. Number one is it found bottom at the 0.003 area. There was a private placement of $150,000. where they were getting quad twos, but no retail was, and they fixed the shell and the share structure. Now, based off that amount of money, that tells you, okay, it would have been cheaper to go buy another shell that was cleaner than to go through all that pain. So clearly they want to make a really good go at it, or they wouldn't do that. The other piece is they never PR'd the MTV stuff. Which, as you guys all know, in the OTC market, if you sneeze the right way and you landed a nice dot on a windshield, you might PR that. I mean, they ridiculously PR everything. Well, these guys didn't PR anything, which means they either want to stay under the radar, or they're just not focused on the stock itself and are focused on operations. So there's a lot of good things there. And, as far as from the chart perspective, anybody can jump in here. About 2 weeks ago, a lot of buying, a lot of pressure on it. Disclaimer, I do own this stock, and I'll be in it for a while. I think it's going to do great things. The pop to 0.009 had steady base, and it's really, really thin trading from 4 to 6 to 7 right now. I actually think it closed down today on very low volume, where any little bit of buying takes it back up to 6. So essentially, that's the DD I got on GRDO in less than 7 minutes.
In less than 7 minutes. Now, their 15 Seconds of Fame website, right?
Right.
And basically, what it is a contest of different areas, right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing when it comes to that. It's a very new dynamic thing, I would call it. Essentially, you get 15 seconds to do whatever you want. Now, they have a lot of categories and all that, and, a big thing is it's videos, of course, is their fame section, which is solo musicians, country music, pop singers, rock bands, all that type of stuff. And then they also have a fun side to the videos. There's also a whole other section that revolves around the pieces with the fame and the fun and those type of things, where everything's voted on for a point system, where you look at the video and you can vote 1 through 10. And the more points that it gets, the more it gives up into the contest, until finally one of them wins, and then they win a contest and they win money.
Good stuff there, I think. Now, I did notice, I saw a couple people put videos up there, and basically, you get 15 seconds of time. So,
right.
So if you put up a video that's 4 minutes in time, they somehow, I don't know how it does it, but somehow pick 15 seconds of that, and that's what's shown on the website. So regardless of the length of time, somehow they pick, just an area, and that 15 seconds is what's played. Now, do you happen to know, did GRDO just go out of business?
The identity theft company?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
closed shop.
They closed shop, and it ended ugly.
Really? That's amazing. Because we actually did an interview with them, 2 years ago? A year and a half ago?
Yeah, we interviewed Sean Andreas and Kendra Todd.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It was very amazing.
I mean, because I'm sure people were signed up to it, right?
There was a lot. Well, that I probably should. All their accounts from their identity theft, they transferred over to a new company. So anybody that actually had a subscription for the identity theft protection, they still have that based off of whoever their third-party, I guess, backer or their database platform user or whatever the case may be. I don't remember which company it is.
So you could be like Lifeguard or something like that, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Anybody got anything else to add to GRDO tonight?
I sure do. Yeah. I want to go back to what Cop was stating about the chart. Most people fear the share structure. You look at the float. Wow, 5 billion shares. But you look over about a 5-day period, it went from trip 3 to almost a 200-day moving average of 0.0098. And it moved on ease in that week. And right there, that's telling you that people are holding. Somebody knows something. The accumulation, the 50-day is actually turning up. If you look at the chart right now, those are indicators that something is definitely triggering here. Something is definitely going to happen here in the near future.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that thing, like you said, it did move, and a lot of people don't want to play 000 stocks. We all know that. Some people love to play them. But when I play them, I always look for that 6-7 break area, the 0006, 0007. And to be quite honest with you, I thought on those few days when it was moving through those numbers that we were going to sit at those numbers and it proved right after it pulled back. But we should have sat at 6-7 probably for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we sat there for 3 hours.
And that's the funny thing. A lot of traders have that superstition, the 200-day moving average. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the chart, as soon as it hit 9, they stack the ask again. And, that's just that fear of breaking that 200-day moving average. Once it breaks that, people are saying, it'll be a full breakout confirmed. Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at it, from 0003 to 0009 is a 200% move in 4 days on a 5 billion float. I mean, what's not to like about that? The company is going a new direction. They have great opportunities coming, and I think there's a lot more behind this than what they're putting out right now. Like Cop said, they're quiet. They're the ones that grab the attention, the energy behind it. You want it. You want to know more. You want it because you want to learn more about it. And yet they're not saying anything yet. People are buying it every single day.
Yep. No, it's like I said. I mean, it moved and it moved clean. I was actually surprised at the movement those few days. And it traded I think one day it was 50 million, and it moved.
Moved a few ticks, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. I remember because I was talking to somebody about it, and then. I brought up THRR from like a year or two ago, and we sat at 6 or 7 on that play for like 4 days. And they kept saying, should I sell? Should I sell? I said, well, you do what you want. I'm holding. And as soon as I broke the 7s, we were off and running, But here, we just kind of flew right through them and moved on out.
Well, what happened, it was pushing that 001 area, getting into the double zeros, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a giant ask came on. Right. I don't remember what it was. It was, I think, 100 million shares or something like that, and that kind of
20 million all of a sudden popped up that one day real quick, and then it started expanding from there. You're right. Yep. I remember that.
Then there were a couple hits, and people just, got to buy at that point. But it'll break eventually. I think the accumulation is, undeniable. So there's something going on.
Well, the way I look at it is, if you can hold the 4, 5, 6 range right now, okay. Because you always got to look at it this way, too. You got to remember, people are in this thing at 2, 3, 4. So when this thing starts hitting 6, 7, 8, you got people in there with 100% profit already. You know they're going to start cleaning house on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you have to kind of fuddle through that area right there. And if you can rebase now at, let's say, 5-6 area and get a good, strong base right there, then next time when it's ready to move, you're going to move past that 9. You'll move into the 10s, 11s, and 12s. So that's what you have to look for in plays like this.
Well, and that's the other thing, too. If you look at the RSI, when we hit 9, it peaked about 80-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, when it was in the 0002, 0003 range, it was about right where it is right now, about the mid-40s. Now we're sitting between 4 and 6, holding 40s, and the RSI has already reset itself at a higher level. It's just telling you that it's going to eventually keep creeping up. The buying pressure is there.
Right.
Process. They're separate.
And I think another thing that we also have to kind of touch on is the fact that most people that play in these penny stocks do not want to be holding them for any length of time. And in some instances, that's a good theory. In others, if you're willing to be patient, the patience will pay off eventually on most plays if you're in the right play, obviously.
You know, it's funny. I hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, every big, gigantic gainer I've ever had is because I've held it for a long time.
Oh, well, how long did we sit? How long did we sit in GOIG? How long did we sit in MMTE, AT&P? How long did I sit in that sucker? I was the only one still talking about that thing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's not many people out there that can sit there and say that they bought GOIG at 0.005 and bought MMTE at 0.003 and AT&P at 0.004. Not many people out there, and held through the run.
I can.
I know.
I can say that.
I hate you guys.
Well, I guess somebody's got to take the other side of this trade.
Hey, I bet you what? I bet you.
Go ahead, by all means, Siffy. You got the other side of it.
I told you to sell at the top, Mike.
I'll never forget because on that AT&P, it was at 4 cents, and I'm telling Mike to sell it, and he goes, "No, I think we can get 5." I mean, you just made 20,000%, and he's arguing whether or not he's going to get 25,000%.
Serves you right. What's the saying? The bears get paid, the bulls get paid, and those pigs get slaughtered.
Yeah, he actually did get his 5 cents though.
I did. Well, we don't even want to talk about GOIG.
No.
We don't want to go to
GRDO.
GOIG is right back where it started.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they're bound to go back where they started. Look at AT&P's out of business.
Yeah.
Guy's probably in jail for all I know. But you got to play those Momo plays when they're there, you know. And I love techie stuff. I'm not a big mining person or a big bio person. Bios pay off nice when there's a lot of rumor and stuff like that. But
there's only and here's the reality to it. There's only, and I'll put this test against anybody. In the OTC, in the sub world of a penny, either you are putting a lot of money out on the line or you're waiting a long time to make big gains. If you're the day trader just scalping all over the place, I'll let you look at my account and then I'll look at yours, and I will guarantee you that we're not even in the same category on gains. Guaranteed.
I've slowly been moving over to cop strategy over the last year or two here, more long-term, mid-term plays.
Well, on these quads, you sit and be patient, or you flip and take your 100% and run.
Yeah.
If you can be patient long enough on most of them, and they have some kind of thing, they have something going on, they'll pay off in the long run. I've yet to. What have we missed? I think we missed twice, right? I don't want to bring up tickers, but I think we missed twice.
We've missed twice, and and I missed on one of our big ones, that THRA. When we had a chance to buy that quad 2, you loaded up on it, and I'm like, nah, that's not going to go. And next thing you know, it was at 29. You remember that?
Yep.
I mean, but, I think the big thing I probably should, everyone's got a different strategy. But we're not buying $500 worth of stock either. We're buying 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, and all over the place on OTC. You hear, nobody puts 20 grand, whatever. I don't think there's anybody on this show that does not. And I probably shouldn't say anybody else's trading strategy. I'm just saying, it's a volatile market. Trade wisely. Don't trade more money than you're willing to lose. Blah blah blah.
I have the exact opposite. I don't do a play unless I can put 10 or 20 grand into it at a bare minimum. Yeah. If I'm not willing to put that on the line, I move on. My DP can go somewhere else.
It's funny too, though. If you think about the different markets, they're played so different. You go to the OTC, you buy in, let's say 0005, and you're holding all the way through for that 1,000% gain. But when you go over to buy like Ford, when it was down at $3. You're happy to sell at $9 because the 200% gain. It's such a different market. It's such a different style playing game when you get to these different, whether you're OTC, the New York or whatever you're on, the value changes how you play your play. And, in the end of the day, I've always learned greed always gets you. For that extra penny, for that extra one tick. You know what? I've seen so many people say, well, I'm going to wait till tomorrow because it's going to.
And now, a quick word from thepennybin.com. What does one penny say to the other penny? Let's get together and make some sense. Are you tired of losing your hard-earned pennies? Be sure to visit thepennybin.com and download our iPhone app where delivery of our stock plays right into your iPhone instantly. The time to start making money is now. Please be advised that you may make huge sums of money and that thepennybin.com will not be held liable.
Okay, we are back on the air. We had a slight little technical difficulty there. I hope everybody enjoyed the Penny Bin commercial. For those that are hosting the show, you didn't get to hear it. So let's do it again because it's only 32 seconds.
And now, a quick word from thepennybin.com. What does one penny say to the other penny? Let's get together and make some sense. Are you tired of losing your hard-earned pennies? Be sure to visit thepennybin.com and download our iPhone app where delivery of our stock plays right into your iPhone instantly. The time to start making money is now. Please be advised that you may make huge sums of money and that thepennybin.com will not be held liable.
All right, you're back with Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Mike. Joining me on tonight's program, we have Haas, Siffy, Cop, and Nickel. Right? Haas, Siffy, Cop. Yeah, I think that's everybody. All right, now, I am going back. We only have a couple of minutes on this left, okay, guys? So let's try and get this through this. To Gordo, anybody have any closing comments on the Gordo play?
I want a discount.
You want a discount?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like it at?
I'll take 4.
You'll take 4? Well, you could have got
sir.
4 today,
Hey,
sir.
Did you see 4 bid today? I didn't mean. I forgot to say this.
I'll take 4.
And it wasn't me. Just before you guys even sit there and say it,
5.
there was 57 million on the bid. Did anybody else see that today?
No, but he's smart. Smart trader.
It's probably Sippy sitting there.
Is that you going out there trying to throw 20 grand at the bid on that?
No, sir, that was not me, but I will be there with him if it ever comes back.
No, I was driving. I had the joys of that today, so I didn't get to see that bid. But that's impressive, especially on that stock. That's impressive.
It was shocking.
All right, guys, now we must make our selections on Gordo. I'm going to start with Mr. Haas. Buy, sell, or trade, sir?
Are we allowed to put bids in, or do we have to smack the ass?
No. Whatever it's trading at right now.
Yeah, I'll take it at 0004.
You're a buy?
Yeah, I'm a buy. I'll put 50,000 down on that.
Okay, Sif.
I'm a buyer at 0004 as well.
Okay. Cop.
Buy.
Okay. Nickel.
I'm a buy at 4.
Buy at 4. I was going to say hold, but I'm going to say I'll go with everybody else and I'll say buy, so I can't lose.
So are we allowed to paint this to make our predictions correct?
No, tomorrow it's got to close at 0.0005.
Okay, so I can do a
high
at the end if it's sitting at 4, 2 minutes to close.
Hoss, make me proud tomorrow.
Wait, what?
I said, Hoss, make me proud tomorrow. Close it at 5 for us.
I'm not getting this wrong, I'll tell you that.
All right, guys. So that's our stock spotlight segment of the show. Tomorrow, well, I can't say tomorrow. Tuesday, we will come up with another ticker to DD. Now, obviously, we knew this one pretty well. Hopefully, Tuesdays, I can throw a little curve in the game and make people do some real work.
Wait, what?
You heard me. Get some work done.
Alright.
Okay, now, again, you can request it at the Stock Traders Talk Radio iHub board, investorshub.com.
Real work's not in my contract.
Okay, well, I'll give you a raise. I'm going to double your pay.
Sweet.
Nice. It's all taken care of. All taken care of. Now, let's move on to stocks in focus. Who's got a stock that was in focus?
AGDY. Man, I'm telling you, that thing is so thin right now. It moves on air. There's something, like you said, you guys got the CEO coming on board. He wants to talk about something. People aren't seeing that.
Yep.
I beg to differ on where that's going.
Yeah, that one's got a lot and moves. Oh my God, does that thing move? Woo! All over the place.
I mean, it'll be in the 5s. They seem to have between 5 and 6 seems to be good support right now, coming off the bottom of what 2, 3 area, coming off the bottom, holding that 5. It popped on not much volume, to be quite honest with you.
Yep.
Here we are, and it's still holding. And 8K coming. That's why they're waiting on the interview. So they're really protecting their cards right now, and I think that's a good thing. And if people aren't seeing that, I think they need to reevaluate that stock.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got another ticker, or anybody want to comment on the AGDY?
No, I'm going to save my comments for that because we've been trying to get that interview for a little while, and hopefully, just like Nickel just said, clearly they got something to say. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But the one I would actually talk about is ATRN, intrinsic. The went down 25.68% again today. The chart is the ugliest damn chart you've ever seen. It's been sliding down since a few months back when it was at $2.30. They delisted from the NASDAQ, taking funding, all kinds of other stuff. However, the volume is insane. Today was 58 million shares traded above a penny. In between 0.01, it dipped right down below that, and 0.012. That's like over 500 grand, trying to find the bottom there. So it has, and that's after two previous days of high volume as well. Each day, the volume has actually doubled. So I think their AS is actually 100 million, and it looked like it was going to go down a little bit more. I mean, they're just diluting it. But as soon as that thing stops, I think that's going to coil back and go. It's just ridiculous the amount of money being thrown at that thing.
Yeah, ATRN, I actually played that today for a little flip. Thank God people told me to sell after I asked advice on it. A little hesitant to give me that advice, but they gave it to me finally.
Sky reward plays. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Here's the question I'm going to ask you, Kyle. Do you think it found its true bottom? Because I believe that's where that stock, what it's looking for, is a true bottom. Do you believe that 0.0085 trade is the bottom, or do you feel that it's sitting at 1?
No, I think the 8.5 is the bottom. And here's, this today, the beauty to this stock wasn't the fact of what happened, the money and all that other stuff. If you are an OTC stock player, and as you all know, everyone needs to have L2. If you don't have L2, then you might as well stop trading stocks, period. And I never used to say that all the way up until now. You can see the amount of shares that a broker has, which matters now. What's that?
I said, does it matter?
Yeah, it does compared to when it was just 50 and 5,000. Very, very different, because you used to be able to, if you knew how to manipulate stocks, you can make it look any way you want. Now it's not as easy to manipulate it. I mean, it still happens. I mean, the broker's got L3 and those type of things. But the beauty to this L2 today is brokers coming out of the woodwork. Alba and BMAS were diluting like mad. I mean, Alba probably put out about 15 million at the in between the 11 and 12, and would not let it breathe. So clearly they're holding it down, and they're going to keep pushing it down. And you get the whole naked shorts, and all the other crazy stuff. What's the real share structure? What's the real OS? As of 8K a couple days ago, the OS was 17 million. Well, real hard to trade 58 million shares, isn't it? So clearly that's not the OS. And they can come up with all kinds of shorted things and all kinds of other stuff like that. But the bottom line is the AS is 100 million. So let's just assume, for the sakes of argument, that the OS is now 100 million. And I'm just using this as my worst case scenario. Based off of that and watching what the diluters are doing, and then when they shift and they go up, when the bid stacks, right, on the L2, just like anything else, next thing you'll do is you'll see BMAS and CSTI shift up, right, from, say they were sitting at 12, now they're going to go 13 or 14, until the bid gets, and then as the bid creeps back up, they whack the living crap out of it, and then bid went back down until, more talk, more pumping and everything else. They dropped back off, went up high, bid build again, and they probably did that 7 times, and at the tune of, $100,000 a crack. Well, late in the day, the average down players and the more power coming in started popping at it, and there was like a 1.5 million trade, a 2 million trade. I mean, it was some big heavy hitting going, which is, you figure at 1 cent, that's 10 grand for $1 million. So there was like, on an OTC play, that's pretty good. So 20 grand's being thrown at it in the course of 2 minutes, and Alba doesn't budge. Okay, that to me, at the end of the day, because normally they would release and allow it to close higher to establish a new base, so that way they could dilute tomorrow, but they didn't budge.
Well, there was one buy there that was like 7 grand, it was 500,000 shares.
Yeah. So that tells me they're not done pushing it down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my take on it.
All right, let's move on. I looking at a thing called Coin, COIN. Anybody catch that one today?
Not today. It's been a trader's paradise over the last couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
175% today, just so you know. 20 million in volume.
Wow, I used to play that thing when it was in the $2 range. That's amazing.
I know. Some of the stuff just blows your mind.
And I told my buddy to sell that thing at 80 cents when it, he got in like around $1. He took a hit down to 80 cents. I was like, bro, you got to get out. This is bad. And I'm looking at it now, and I should call him right now and roust him. Still in that, buddy?
Sif, what have you been playing? Like, what's on your thing over there?
I'm just sticking to the good old SPY. I mean, again, today it paid off big to just buy that open on the SPY, sticking the money with the options. This morning I went with that 126 call.
Mm-hmm.
Could have got in at 80 cents. You could have bought 10 contracts. That would have been an $800 investment. It hit a day high of $1.38. So, take your $580 right there.
Nice.
But So I hit that, and then it pulled back a little, and I hit it again because you know how I add to the winners and cut the losers, and ran that to the end of the day, and then I got rid of that, and then I jumped on a good old MT's puts, and speak of the devil.
MT.
Got on the puts, hoping today was a little window dressing. Tomorrow is the last day to clear your book, so I'm thinking maybe a small discount, hopefully nothing big. I think it's going to be slow. I mean, we close early tomorrow, don't we? 2 o'clock?
Was tomorrow half a day?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
2 o'clock we close tomorrow, so it's a short day. It's going to be low volume, and I might just take the day off, but definitely put on your radar AMR. They are definitely going to pink sheets. They're down 42% to 31 cents after hours, so time that right. That's going to be a winner. And also another one, check out. I know everybody's looking at these OTCs, but let's not forget about Google, because this thing is getting ready to break out.
That was
right there.
Oh, I wrote that down today.
Let's just remember, guys, it's not about the price per share. People don't want to invest. They go, I can't buy a $600 ticker. I heard the same thing when it was $200, $300, $400, $500. So we're 14% off. It's a 2007 November highs. It just got an upgrade with I think a 780 price target today. So put it on the radar, guys. Check out the options on it. Or if you got a Roth, 401k, this is the things you want to be investing in, not OTCs, in my opinion.
Sif, I'm so glad you said Google, because I thought about it today, and it's my stock for 2012.
I'm telling you, man, it's getting ready to go crazy.
Google's going to take over the world in 2012.
Them and Verizon.
It's a matter of time.
Load the boat.
Who else?
Verizon.
Nice.
Yeah, man, how are you going to beat that yield? Come on. Plus the price per share going up. I mean, when you see Verizon go down, you buy it.
Verizon's good stuff. Okay, now, anybody else catch any tickers today?
Not today.
Nope, I was on cruise control on 70.
On 70, okay. Cop, nobody, nothing else?
No, that's some big ones I was watching today.
Well, there was a few that moved huge.
Oh no, there was some that moved huge, but I wasn't actually in it. The gap up on the LDPP. Did you see that?
Yep.
They gained like 300% or 360% or something like that, but it was actually opened up higher than that. That's the problem with that play.
Yeah, that was a big pump.
Yeah, that thing was everywhere.
So it was like, what are you going to do? You're waiting for it to find a bottom, and then it just went sideways, so I stayed away from it.
Well, what about this? I didn't even see this today. NXMR?
NXMR. Which one's that?
Nexmar?
SR?
MR. NXMR.
650% on, that's only like 10,000.
Yeah, that was on. I know.
I know it's low volume, but I saw it. I just came across it.
Hey, what's up with that?
I don't know. I didn't pull an L2 or anything on. I just saw it real quick.
Oh, we got a board of director resignation, it looks like.
I was joking. I was cheating a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I just came across it real quick. I didn't even see it today. SHKZ was up a little bit today. Did you notice that at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Got a little uptick today. So that's good there. Okay, guys, any other tickers in focus that you know of, that you have, that you saw? Nothing? That's it?
Well, there's a bunch of them out there. That NSRS one, went up 2% again, but you guys got to dig into that story. Oh, yeah. I would not buy that with your money.
Okay.
And I hope nobody I know that's actually in it. But that may be the scariest story I've ever heard.
That's like about 10 million in buying volume, and the 2% move.
Oh no, it's crazy. Matter of fact, how about, I don't know who's actually running this play. Well, I think I kind of do, so I don't want to burn any bridges. But the point being is there's some key data that's not actually out there that is just like, oh, man, what are you doing? Harry Lapa, you guys know who that is? Okay, he's the CEO, right? He basically, what he ended up doing is he took $306,000 and has now turned it into $200 million. And let me tell you how he's done that. $200 million. That's 65,000% gain. All right? So what he did is he filed an S1 that basically made him to where he got the S1 a couple weeks later, way back when, I guess it was June of 2010, and he got 2.5 million shares, okay? Real good, for gross proceeds of $2,500. Okay? If you look at the 8K back in April, he took over the reins from Aurorum where he got the shares. Okay, then he acquired 2,500,000, so 2.5 shares of the company, which was at that time 72% of the shares. That was what it represented. And then the next thing you know, he became he put himself as the company's president, the company's chief executive officer, the CFO, the treasurer, and the secretary. So he's the entire board, which is
it doesn't matter if you're an experienced or novice stock trader. If you make a mistake, you stand to lose everything. And to avoid even the smallest mistake, turn to StockTradersTalk.com. Membership in StockTradersTalk.com, built and run by stock traders for stock traders. It's free. Benefits include dedicated chat rooms to stock tickers, real-time interactive trading and message boards, and the ability to create your own group, message board, and chat rooms. Stock Traders Talk is proud to announce that the radio show featuring live CEO interviews airs Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Interact with the show via their website. StockTradersTalk.com is your complete trading website. To get the trader's edge, go to StockTradersTalk.com and sign up now.
Welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. We are having a couple of technical difficulties with Skype and our radio station. But we're back, and we have about 7 minutes left. So, Mr. Kopp, if you want to continue on your little story there.
Sure. So basically what ended up having at that point was 3.4 million shares. He did a forward split, 100-to-1, which gave him 347 million shares. All right, so, as a board of director and all that other stuff, and the only employee, at that point, he did all this type of stuff and then proceeded in August to do another forward split. This next forward split was a 2-to-1. So now he had 750 million shares. Now remember, he owns 72% of all the shares, the share structure, but now it's 750 million, right? So when he had this huge thing with it, by the time it was all said and done, he's holding this large amount of shares that he only spent almost $3,000 with. Well, next thing you know, what do you guys see? The stock is being promoted in one drastic way. It's 40 cents right now.
Oh boy! Absolutely
40 cents. Now, it's 40 cents, so that comes out to 20 million. But then they put out, you can tell, you guys know about the pumping PRs and that type of stuff. They put out a PR today, and you're not going to believe what the PR was. Did you guys see it?
Wasn't it a retirement of $80 million from the
A retirement of $80 million. Now, does that take balls or what? So he basically, it just gave the impression to everybody in this pump bullshit that, hey, I'm going to retire $80 million, when in reality, he just gave himself millions. So now he has, for an investment of $5,000, is holding $200 million worth of stock.
Wow.
That's just insane.
Yes, that's
I can get me a shell. How do I get one of those?
But I mean, look at it. I mean, here's the part that concerns me about this in a major way, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. You guys have been around the OTC for a long time, all right? The people that are promoting this stock, I have no idea who they are, all right? I don't even want to know because I don't want to lose a friend. But I will tell you this, if they have enough balls to take that money and promote this stock to where they know damn well this thing's going to lose almost 99% of its value here very quickly to all these, these newbies or these new people in here, then they should not be in this business because they're getting ready to put one huge damage on the OTC market. And right now I feel very strongly that the volume is lacking now. Mm-hmm. So you're getting ready to lose an entire group of traders that are in the OTC. Mark my words on that.
I don't like that.
No, it's wrong on so many levels. I mean, that's, and what's good is a couple boards that have dug, people are getting smarter and they're digging in the filings. But, you guys know how it is. 80% of the people that are in this OTC never even look at the filings, and they're just playing the Momo, and they're really enjoying it. But there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the L2 where 1 million shares keep showing up on the bid as it's being pushed higher. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is pure thievery, in my opinion.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that most people, what I've heard, from previous plays, and I've noticed a lot of people don't even know what the company does because they're truly just riding the Momo. And, that's a failure in itself right there, to not know what the company's doing, what they're about. How can you invest in somebody? Look, buy my company. I'll tell you what I do. If that's what you want to hear, if you don't do the research behind it, you're almost guaranteed to lose from the get-go.
Sure.
Well, today was the perfect example of and I've always practiced this one, is I don't trade the first half hour of trading. And APRN was the perfect example today. That thing was what? penny 6 at a high.
Didn't I say that was going to gap up? Man.
Penny 6 and then dove all the way down to sub-penny.
Yeah.
So that was in the first half hour.
I believe in yesterday's show we actually commented on that, and I actually said I thought it was going to gap up based on volume and almost 600,000. And, you know, it goes to show that you just never know what's going to happen the next day. And there was a true fact of it actually rolled down. And that's what I said earlier, is everybody says, well, I'm going to hold. And look what it did. It did exactly the opposite. It hit the low, 85.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, guys. I'm just going to run around. Wish everybody a Happy New Year. Haas.
Hey.
I say Happy New Year to everybody.
He goes, hey. That's awesome.
I was going to say something. I thought he was just going to keep going around. Happy New Year to you too, Mike. Do you have any big plans?
No, I don't. My plan was to run around the room and have you say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's awesome.
Okay, Siffy.
Keep your stops in place. Happy New Year.
Cop.
Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you guys on Tuesday night.
Nickel.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. See you soon.
And from all of us here at Stock Traders Talk Radio, wishing everybody out there a Happy New Year. Good luck in your trading. And join us every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stock Traders Talk Radio. We'll see you next year. Good luck. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show